welcome back to another Marvel Champions reveal first reaction article look with Villain Theory. How you doing, Villain?
I'm doing good, but I'm very surprised. Normally, it's a Thursday, we're recording Shadow of the Cast, and suddenly there's an article. It's Tuesday. What's going on?
Yeah, I was not expecting. My Lord of the Rings stream this morning was one of the shortest Lord of the Rings streams I've ever had. I was gonna go work on videos, and then all of a sudden I see a message from Peter like, "Hey, we're here." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well let's go." And so I messaged Villain, and we're here. And here we are. So I am so excited to take a look at this. The only thing that I have seen is this art and the art of the hero card. So I am pretty pumped.
Yeah, I've not seen much either. And as a warning for everyone, I've got like the tail end of a cold, so if I'm coughing, just assume I'm like too excited about Nick Fury or something. And yeah, I'm really excited. I've not seen anything except my Discord is very excited. I think I saw Get Up in capital letters saying, he's, all this stuff. So excited to see what we have.
Nice. So we have not seen anything. We're going to dive in and just kind of figure out and do some wild speculation while we're on this exciting ride for Nicholas Fury. So we have, as the article says, seen the scenarios, and we have seen Maria Hill. If you have not seen the Maria Hill, that one was a amazing article. Definitely go check that out, or the video that we did. Awesome stuff. But now we are here for Nick Fury, and this is one of my favorite things I think so far is Nick Fury's alter ego art. Have you seen this? It's
I just got into it.
It's so great. He's just surfing. I love that.
Free traits.
3 traits. Oh, okay. So he's a shield, soldier, and spy, and it looks like he does have those traits on his hero form as well. And those are all relevant traits.
I was looking to see if there's like a surfer trait.
I would love that. I do. Yeah. The surfer trait. That'd be great. I do like that he has 10 hit points. I like that he is more robust than a lot of our heroes.
It feels like Nick Fury can take a punch. He can lose an eye and keep going.
That's true. That is very true. It is a canon. It is canon at this point. But Nick Fury, alter ego. I'll read his alter ego. You read his hero. How about that?
Sounds like a good deal.
Nick Fury for recovery. Nice. Suit up. Put your suit form upgrade into play. Assault side face up. Seems pretty cool. Infiltrate as an action. We can change to stealth suit form. So this feels very much like a Shadowcat or Vision or something like that, where you're going to have an alternate card that's one of those setup cards that's just going to modify the hero a little bit, but kind of cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a form that isn't a form.
Yeah. Do you want to read hero, or do we want to figure out what this stealth and assault form are? Where are we going, Villain?
Let me read the hero card quickly, and then we'll talk about it all in a package once we move on to the suit thing, the stealth suit.
Sweet.
So same name in hero form, 2 fort, 2 attack, 2 defend. So all pretty even there. And yet, unusually, I think this is pretty rare on hero cards. There's a little star next to the 2 on fort, which means he has something extra when he uses his basic forting, which is pretty exciting. So, gather intel. Response after Nick Fury makes a basic fort, place 1 threat on your suit form upgrade. That's kind of interesting. So he gets some kind of threat on his suit form when he forts. That's probably a good thing because he's gathering intel. You're probably going to be able to do something with it. Then he's got break cover, force to interrupt. When you attack, change to assault suit form. So, okay, so he's stealthing around, gathering intel, but if you attack, you're out in the open. You move to assault mode. I love this already.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty fun sequencing decisions here. I'm very curious to see what his stealth and assault. Let's just go ahead and let's not speculate on what those are, considering we have the links to those cards. Let's read those real quick. JF says they want more spy cards. Ooh, that'd be fun. Okay, so the stealth mode, the suit form upgrade has 2 modes. Stealth mode, which looks sick. I love the color palette for the Nick Fury cards already. These black cards look awesome. That's really, really clean. So suit form permanent. This is a tech upgrade.
And it is a form.
And it is a form. Force interrupt hero. When an enemy would attack you, it schemes instead. Ooh. Place 1 threat from that activation here instead of on the main scheme. There are 5 or less threat on this card.
Okay. I like this. So it's like your alter ego, but you're not alter ego.
Yeah, yeah, it's very much a spy thing, right? You're undercover. The villain does not know that you're in hero form, so that they are acting as if you are in alter ego form. They're carrying out their scheme, but you are still disrupting that scheme because you're moving some of that threat there. Um Surfer trait confirmed. Silver Surfer is gonna also get that surfer trait. I love that.
That'd be so funny.
That's interesting. So when an enemy would attack you, it schemes instead, and then you have a forced interrupt to flip this into assault form when you do attack. So
Hmm.
you want to read us assault form?
Yeah, let me find it. Let's have a look at Assault. Kind of cool art here. I do like the background. I mean, okay, he's got an expression going on, but let's move on. So it's suit form again. Interrupt. When you attack, remove up to 3 threat from here. Cost arrow. This attack deals 1 additional damage for each threat removed this way. So you're sneaking around, you're absorbing like a bit of the threat that they would be putting on, or you're using basic fort. You know, you're building up threat on the suit, then you go into attack mode, and you get a damage bonus. And it's any kind of attack, not just a basic attack. So yeah, what do you think of this, Nelson?
This is amazing because you get all of those interactions that we've seen with like Gambit or any like why am I forgetting the red card that adds warrior skill, where you get to add to each instance of damage? And so I think Nick is going to really like these multi attack cards because if you go with like a melee, you remove 3 threat. Now it's a 6 and 6, and I think
Yeah,
that gets really interesting. I really like the kind of concept of gathering this threat. That's interesting. It's gonna be play wildly differently from solo to multiplayer as well. Um, I I I can't wait to see how his kit interacts, but just with the assault and stealth side of this card, it's an interaction like we haven't seen in champions before, and I love it.
I really like it too. Like you're building up for that big attack. Like the theme is there, but mechanically it's also interesting because you know you can basic fort to build it up, or you can get attacked. You know, can I play taunt as Nick Fury when I'm stealthing and make them scheme to build that up, then flip and like I'm already seeing like some
That's
really cool
really cool.
stuff.
And thematically, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Because while you're in stealth form, you are uh, disrupting that scheme a little bit. But maybe the villain, this is my headcanon, the villain doesn't necessarily know that you have disrupted that scheme. And so when you do go into the assault, you've already like created all these little cracks in the villain's plan, which the villain then is going to be, reprimanded for taking extra damage. That's pretty cool. That feels very spy like for to me.
This is incredibly cool. I'm very excited. And presumably his cards will do different things in different forms and so on and so forth, which really excites me.
Yeah. The last thing that I will say, I'm going to echo Chad here, is the any form of multi-instance damage, one by one, melee, anything like that. I also like to think about hone technique to see if that is something that we can just kind of exploit a little bit, because as Chad's saying, a melee hone technique with a fully like charged up, using gambit terms here, assault, that's a 9/9. So that gets really, really intense pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's like
Um,
half the 4 horsemen on solo.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's cool. Let's see how the rest of his kit interacts with this, but because I'm guessing we're gonna see some stuff like Vision, like Shadowcat, where you're gonna get bonuses if you play specific events and stuff while in each different form. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that this is a Tony Fanchi design. I think that Tony has some of the like most creative designs. Like things that I would never dream up in 100 years. I think like we're seeing some like very creative design work coming out of the team here. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I want
Maria
to
was so
build.
interesting. Sorry, go
Oh,
on.
Maria. Yeah, Maria was great. Maria was super
Mm.
interesting. Uh, want to build a deck called "You Revealed My Trap Card." Nice.
Maybe we'll get it.
Okay, so while in stealth form, Nick's suit lets him hide from the enemies, forcing them to scheme. I also find it pretty interesting that he has a 4 recovery, 10 hit points, 2 defense, and he's rarely taking attacks when he's in stealth form. So that's kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
It's a
Also,
pseudo instability. It's like this stale Trigo decks, but you're in hero form. Sorry, go on.
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The gather intel. is another way to add threat to your suit form. So you can switch to stealth, and you have to go back down to alter ego. It looks like to switch back into stealth. So
That
you
makes
can
sense.
add if you are thwarting while on assault side, you can still add threat to your suit, but once you attack, you flip to assault, you have to go down to alter ego in order to get it back into, which makes it makes a lot of sense.
This is really interesting because what I hadn't noticed with stealth, for some reason I had villain in my head, but it's when an enemy would attack you, it schemes instead. And place one threat for next here instead. So if you have like a one scheme minion, you just leave it out against you and you absorb the whole thing. And you can stack up a lot of like threat for assault to then go crazy. I'm excited.
Then bring it.
Yeah. Why not?
And I one last thing. I know like we're spending a lot of time on these cards, but they are very exciting cards. Um it says when you attack. And so if you are using like attack team or if you're using allies, you do not flip this. And so there is still ways to push damage to minions to the villain without flipping out of stealth. And that's going to be utilizing your supports and your allies. So that's pretty cool.
Really cool. I love this.
Uh okay, so it could be detrimental in certain yeah. We I saw a comment earlier that Master Mode loves Nick because he just gets to bring out all of his.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so together stealing threat that we place on main scheme. Patience is a virtue, as charging up his suit with threat builds to a significant payoff when you swap to assault mode. Any of Nick Fury's attacks can be boosted by the assault suit. For example, you could have an attack event like concentrated fire. You want to read this one for us?
Yeah, let's have a look at this one. So I see in the art, we've got a sniper rifle out, which is exciting. 2-cost event, attack traded, hero action. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. This attack gains ranged, makes sense. If this attack defeats an enemy, choose place threat on your suit form upgrade equal to the enemy's printed scheme, or change
Hmm.
the stealth suit form. So it's 2 cost,
Oh,
4 damage with ranged, but then you get to like charge up threat on your suit, or you get to go stealth in the first place. This is really cool. I like this.
yeah. I like the out of it's the death glow issue, right? If you want to detach death glow from the villain as Valkyrie, you have to flip down to alter ego, and there's not really a good way to do that. And it feels like concentrated fire is that way. So if you are stuck in assault form, and you just can't flip down because maybe you're playing solo against Rhino and you're just going to lose if you do that, you do have ways to flip back into stealth form, which ironically then makes Rhino scheme. You'll probably lose. But, anyways,
But it's
uh,
cool.
yeah, it is really cool.
What
Four
I'm
damage. Oh, yeah, no, go for it.
I just wanted to point something out. Sorry. I believe the timing here is you play the card, you initiate an attack. You swap with the interrupt into assault form. You can spend some threat to boost the damage. If you defeat the enemy, you then get to go straight back to stealth. So you can like pop in and pop out, and they don't know where you were. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm getting Gambit vibes from Nick, spinning
Yeah.
these charge counters. Are these sorry? What are they even called? Just I
Threat.
guess it's just threat. It's just threat.
You become
But
the threat.
yeah, look at me. I am the threat now. Kyle, Stealth Nick could use Quake to knock out minions. I love that.
Oh,
That's a very
definitely.
thematic tie-in because Quake's also shield, and so you're seeing a lot of that, symbiotic like playing off of each other there. That's cool.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so concentrated fire is really interesting. Up to 7 damage because you can increase it up to 4. I love it. Alternatively, you could boost an area attack like spray fire. Here we go. So spray fire is a 3-cost event. It's an attack. Hero action: choose a player, deal 3 damage to the villain, and each minion engaged with the player. This attack gains ranged. Whoa. Okay, so
I These things aren't normally attack traded, which is pretty crazy because you can pump this up for like aggressive energy, warrior skill, like you said, and obviously your assault mode interrupt. So this is potentially doing 6, 7, 8 damage if you build for it, which is crazy. Love the art. Uh,
yeah,
what are your thoughts on this?
it's the yes, the art is amazing. We're definitely like, yeah, I love the art here. This is incredible, right? Like this is 3 damage. If you don't spend any charge counters, it's still like if you have 2 minions, you're paying 4 for 9, which is, you know, even more than a swinging web kick. I would say it's even probably a little bit better than a swinging web kick because it's split up and it's a little bit more flexible if you have those minions, right? Um, it is attack traded, so this triggers Hall of Heroes.
That's
That's kind of
crazy.
bananas, actually.
I'm seeing him staying in, that stealth suit, kind of like I said, let the minion scheme against it and kind of absorb it, and then just take all of them out at once they gathered up. Be really efficient and just, as the flavor text says, eat lasers. I'm I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I'm seeing a bring it deck here. I bring it into a spray fire into a Hall of Heroes counters because you are gonna want to be flipping down to alter ego. That's gonna be pretty fun. 3 damage to the villain and each minion. You honestly, for a lot of minions, you don't have to go all the way to 6. You can spend like 1 or 2 threat and clear most of the minions in the game, and still deal 5 damage to the villain for a 3 cost card. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, I'm liking what I see here.
Um, the break cover is a forced interrupt. So one thing to note is that if we have spray fire, if we are in stealth form, whenever we play stealth fire, we automatically switch to assault, and then I think we can go ahead and interrupt on the assault side. Yes, so that is also an interrupt. So if you are in stealth, you can spray fire, flip, and increase that damage, so you can come out swinging. So that's
Yeah, it's so cool. Like, come out guns blazing, take everyone out, and like, hi, I was here all along.
yeah,
It's gonna be really fun.
yeah.
I'm seeing like,
Visions. Oh, sorry.
sorry, no, you go on, please.
No, I was saying chat. Vision's form changing, but evolved. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interactive because like it's a choice you make, but it's still interactive cards you play as well. Like it's really I love that so much. And I'm already seeing a lot of aspect synergy. You've talked about the aggression stuff, but Justice is gonna let him stay in that stealth form for longer, more reliably. Leadership will let him attack, more of allies more flexibly without breaking stealth. Protection, not 100% sure yet, but I already, taunt that makes the villain scheme is crazy to me. So I see ideas coming together already. I want to see the next card.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Also in leadership, because he does have that soldier trait, my mind goes to mission leader. So
Oh
we got
yeah.
that for us as well. Next card, I'm gonna let you read. We got Fury's Watch. I'm hoping that this is an actual. It is an actual watch. Okay, cool.
I read the text on the article about this, so I feel like I know what this does, which might be a little crazy. So let's see. It's a 1 cost upgrade. It's unique, so he's only got 1 copy. He's not dual wielding watches on each arm. And it's tech traded, so you could repurpose this. Um, Resource: exhaust Fury's Watch and remove up to 2 threat from your suit form upgrade. Generate a mental resource for each threat you remove this way. Oh, hold on. So this is turning 2 threat into up to 2 threat into 2 resources. That seems good.
That seems really good. That seems really good, especially because you can, yeah, you can. It can be damage or resources, and it's kind of interesting because I typically associate 1 resource for 2 damage, and so
Hmm.
in like a spray fire, the threat on your suit is going to be, if you have more than 1 minion engaged with the player, it's going to be more effective to use your threat as damage. But if you don't have any minions, it's probably going to be better to use it as a resource generator. It's kind of
Yeah. This
crazy.
this is good though. It's like every time I basic fought, I basically created a resource for this to
Yeah.
then spend for me. So I like that a lot. Web Warrior build, although Octavius can ready this up, draw you a card so you could get more. And it's a mental resource, which is really
Oh,
useful because justice cards and some other things. I'm interested. I like this.
hone technique.
Oh yeah, obviously that's really
I mean,
good.
it does feel like hone technique is going to be something that we want to play. After Nick Fury makes a basic thwart, place 1 threat on your suit form upgrade. That is not limited to once per round either. So if you have like an always ready, and that's kind of how I'm seeing this protection build start to form, is
mm,
just continuously readying Nick so that we can throw and we can thwart just a ton, and then we can throw all of that onto Fury's Watch and use that for damage or even for resources. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I like this. Very cool.
Yeah, and I think this and Pepper Pots are the only resource generators that we have that can generate 2 resources, right?
Yeah, maybe. I can't think of another one off the top of my head, so I think you're right.
That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, cool.
Mm.
Um, Nick Fury's Watch help you pay for a big swing. That is also true because it is a double resource generator. My mind goes back to the helicarriers that we saw from Maria's and those 6 cost
Ooh.
helicarriers, which are going to be very, very challenging to get into play for a lot of heroes. But if you have a resource generator that can generate 2 resources, it gets a little bit easier to stomach that high cost.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good point as well. A lot of any kind of expensive card or good ally, anything like that, though, you can kind of bank that up, right? It's not limited to what you spend it on. It's just a resource. That's
Yeah,
really good.
yeah, just go. That's awesome. I think that this is going to be some really fun decision making. It's going to
It
be a
is,
very tactical hero where you're going to
yeah.
go in and you're going to have to continuously reevaluate where the resources as of the threat that's on your suit is going to be best utilized, and that's fun. That's a fun decision making position to be in.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Maria moving the counters around to be quite tactical. This is my kind of heroes, so much. I'm really, really excited for this. And like you said, we put out all the aspect synergy. So far, so good. I'm just talking a lot, but I'm really genuinely very excited. This has surpassed all my expectations so far by a mile.
Yeah. One thing that I will say, I'm looking at Covert, Surveillance, and Secret Agent. I have not read them yet, but we have not seen anything that is shield traded. We have not seen anything that is like super exciting in terms of traits. And so that was something that I was kind of expecting to see, and we have not seen that yet. So that's kind of
Mm.
interesting.
I feel like they did
Uh,
that for Maria, and now Nick is just the
yeah,
action
that's
guy.
true. That's true. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. So
Yeah.
next up, we got Covert Surveillance. So Covert Surveillance is a 1 cost thwart event where we remove 2 threat from a scheme. If you're in stealth suit form, you may place that threat on your suit form upgrade. Otherwise, you may change to stealth suit form. Love it.
So he's got another
Absolutely
way to
love
get
it.
back to stealth form.
Yeah.
And like 1 cost card to remove 2 threats, kind of bad, but you're getting to use that threat in the future. So you're charging up resources basically or damage. So that's really interesting.
The way that I immediately started to think about this card, right? It's a effective cost of 2 to remove 2 threat, which is under what we would like to see. Typically, we would like to see 3 threat removal if we wanted to be on curve. But this can also then just be turned into 2 resources. So it's a
Yep.
zero, it's effectively 0 cost for 2 threat, which is way above curve, or 2 additional damage. And so
Mm.
it's just the math starts to break with this with Nick. It's fun.
You got to get that watch in play, but then it looks really like very, very good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. He's gonna have so many ways to now start charging up. Like presumably he's got at least 2 copies of this, maybe 3, probably 2. And that's gonna let you start to stack up the threat. Because when I first saw the assault form, I thought, oh, it's when you burst into that form you get the big attack. But you can just spend it whenever. So if you have a huge stack of them, I mean, you could just do an incredible amount of burst damage, which is very, very fun.
Yeah, because I don't believe there is a limit. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any limit on how much threat you can have on the card. Now, the stealth form does limit you to only moving threat when an enemy schemes if there's 5 or less threat. But
Hmm.
you can add more threat by like covert surveillance. You can go up to 7, and you can just like spray and just like Venom Goblin does not survive stage 3, right? Like it's
No.
that's pretty cool. Passion for
Yeah.
Justice, you can get 3 thwart on your suit with this card. Yeah. Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah,
cool.
boosting
Yeah,
this.
yeah. That's cool.
The
Oh.
operative skill, passion for justice, and operative
Oh,
skill so thematic for him as well.
yeah. Oh,
Very
that's
cool.
that's sick. Okay. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Secret Agent. We got Secret Agent is um I just saw the name of a different card called Eyepatch Camera, and I think that's hilarious. But anyways, Villain, what's a Secret Agent do?
A secret agent sneaks around and stuff, but in this case, it's a 2 cost upgrade. Uh, and it's a title trait, not that important right now, but it says hero response. After you resolve the ability of a preparation card you control, move 1 threat from a scheme to your suit form upgrade. And
Heck
this
yeah.
tells us many things. Preparation support, extra ways to move threat, but we can now move threat from, I believe it's any scheme, a scheme. So it could be from a side scheme, and that's especially useful, especially if you play side schemes, 3 threat threshold and solo. Fought for 2 with yourself. Secret agent, another one. Why not? Dealt with easy. So flexible. And look at that art. I'd never recognize them.
Yeah. I love it. I think that this is amazing, mainly because of what it's going to do for Black Widow. right? Black Widow is built around the prep cards, and we have not seen many. I think there's been like one or two prep cards printed since her pack, but really, really low amount of support. But her being shield, we kind of were hypothesizing that we would see some more prep cards, and it does look like we will be getting that with Nick because of the secret agent. I don't think that they're going to build a precon with this card in it without preps.
Yeah, but I think even outside of the prep thing for Black Widow, which is super exciting, uh, moving a threat. I'm just just thinking about the plain maths. It's you've removed one threat, but you've also gained a damage or a resource, like you're saying with the numbers thing. This is really good. There's a world where you view this as like better than Black Widow's hero ability, which is like ping one damage. It's got different pros and cons. It's less immediate, but I like this. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. That is. Yeah, I think it is better than Black Widows. Assuming that you have it in play, right? Like that. That's the
Yeah,
benefit of Black Widows is it's just always on. Um, that's cool. That's
yeah.
that's cool. Okay, so that is the secret agent. With something it shares with the Eyepatch camera. I love that. I love the Eyepatch camera. This is a 2-cost upgrade. This is a prep card. It's a tech. When any amount of threat would be placed in the main scheme, we can discard Eyepatch camera, place up to 3 threat of that threat on your suit form upgrade instead. Nice.
So this is basically counterintelligence, but you get to keep the threat and use it in the future. And it's got the tech trait, which is always interesting as well. Very, very like funny concept. I love it.
Yeah. Um, this is card 13. I think we saw card 14, so we may only have one of these, but potentially two. It is a tech card, and so there is that always ready protection into repurpose. We've seen a couple of different techs, and so I could see this being just a very flexible option for us where we can prevent 3 threats and get those resources, or we could just repurpose this thing away, ready up, get +2, and then thwart for 4, get one of those back, and that's effectively, um, you know, not exactly the same value, but it is a option. It's going to be another tactical option you're going to have to choose during the game, and it feels like it's going to be really hard to tell you how to play Nick or describe how to play Nick to somebody because it's going to be different every single time you play him.
But this is I'm just thinking like place it up to 3 of that threat on your suit. Yeah, I'll place it all there. That's 3 damage in the bank. I feel like this is a really good card with that in mind. I like this a lot. And also to your point, yeah, I think we only have one of these. We did see card 14, but if you had 2 of these, you wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very, very fair. Cool. Okay, so if you have your secret agent out there, Eyepatch camera is going to move 4 threat. That's awesome.
Oh,
Very
that's
cool.
so good.
It's also nice that we have this, which is a discarded upgrade, meaning that superpowered training does not just become irrelevant if you bottom deck superpowered training and you're able to play all of your upgrades. It's going to be one of those upgrades that you're going to want to play consistently and trigger consistently, discard, and you can hit superpowered training again if you're not
Yeah.
using superpowered training for like a secret agent. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have options. This feels like a character with a lot of options, which I always enjoy.
Yeah. Um, okay, I think that's all of the Nick Fury cards. We're looking at a Justice Precon at the bottom of the screen here, but I think that's all the Nick Fury cards. That's pretty interesting. I'm really excited to see how he plays. I'm really excited to see these prep cards that I assume we're getting in yellow, but
Mm.
sadly the eye patch is a hero interrupt.
But
I don't.
he
Oh yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say he'll scheme against you if you're in stealth
Yeah,
form, so like you've got opportunity there, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think with the, but kind of funny. The eye patch camera thematically, I think, should also work in alter. Well, I guess he's surfing in alter ego, so maybe he doesn't want to get it wet. Uh,
Makes sense.
but okay, yeah. But if you're in stealth form, he is going to scheme. But I could also see just staying in assault form, having this eye patch camera out here to protect you, especially in solo against those like um
Advance.
Advance, thank you. Jeez, I blocked it from my memory. I'm just like, I'm done with that card. I'm, but yeah, so I can see that. That's pretty cool. Any thoughts on Nick before we start looking at some justice stuff?
Well, just for Eyepatch camera, from a solo perspective, the advanced thing, one of the big threats on some villains is, you change them to their final form, especially an expert, and so like a million encounter cards in front of you. This is just another way you can like avoid losing the game in that situation, as well as just, the regular advanced threat. Overall thoughts on Nick are that, again, he surpassed my expectation. I was expecting him to have a thing to like bounce Alter Ego, then back to hero form to be like, I'm stealthing away to Alter Ego. But instead, he kind of has the enemy thinks he's in Alter Ego when he's in hero form, which is even better. He's actually stealthing. I like the way you described that. So that's fantastic. We saw his attack card, his falling card. We've seen a couple of upgrades. I feel like we basically know roughly how he's going to play,
Yeah.
mostly how he's going to play even. And I like this a lot. I think he'll be, kind of how many stealth things threat can I charge up on my suit before I flip down and cause mayhem. Uh, and that's awesome. I love that. I love that you're kind of building up and you can flip down when you need to, and so good. So from me, I'm just gonna softly say with Maria, I think I had more of a wow factor with these big six costs. But for Nick, I wonder. My initial impression is I'm looking more forward to Nick in this moment. Barely having seen it, I'm really hyped for Nick. What about you?
That's awesome because I was about to ask you exactly that, and I think I'm more excited about Maria. I love the upgrades. I love kind of triggering everything, trying to figure out how to manage my board state to affect the game. I'm less inclined to play, or less inclined to rate the event heroes a little bit higher. That being said, depending on what prep cards we get, I still think that Nick could be that, like a kind of a lower um a hero that's not as interested in the prep cards as Black Widow, but could still really like these prep cards, and so I'm excited to see how they play there.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and it's interesting. I think we talked about this at least on Shadow of the Cast. You like to build an engine, right, and see all the parts come together, which is kind of Maria in a nutshell. So that all makes sense to me. But yeah, really excited for both these heroes. This has got me. I mean, I'm already getting the box, but if I wasn't, now I am.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll buy it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's take a look at the Justice card. So it is a Justice Precon. I think that's not a surprise to me. I'm thinking
Yeah.
that we saw leadership with Maria, so I was like, it's gonna be leadership and justice in the box. It just is so on brand uh for Shield. So uh yeah, that Taskmaster face on Informant. This is a one cost preparation upgrade. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. I'm so pumped. Interrupt. When a minion schemes, discard Informant. This activation removes threat instead of placing it. That's
Okay.
pretty awesome. It's max one per player. Um, the alter ego only builds that Black Widow has is gonna love this. This is a good card. This is a really good card.
It's also making leaving minions for Quake that was mentioned before better. I think leaving a minion into scheme is like not ideal in a lot of situations, but for Nick, what I was talking about, letting those minions stack up against you, then hitting them all with the area attack. This is going to make that even easier. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. It is not a hero interrupt. You can do it in alter ego, which is where I think most characters will be using this outside of Nick, because there's really not a great way to make minions scheme while you're in hero form. Unless I'm missing and forgetting something, or we may see something. But Nick is probably going to be triggering this in hero form, and then we're going to be able to trigger our secret agent because this is a prep card. I do like chat saying Black Widow using Face the Past to pull out Taskmaster, and then using him to scheme for like 8+ because he gets +1 thwart for all of your upgrades. I love
That-
that. That's amazing.
yeah, I feel like Face the Past is already really good for Black Widow, so that's going to
Yeah.
be something else.
Yep. Uh, okay, so Prism or Informant. That's nice. Okay.
Mm.
Calling informants to get a minion to thwart for you instead of scheming. Remember that Fury's suit makes enemies scheme against them when they would normally attack. What this makes this card particularly useful while you're infiltrating the scene. If a minion enters play that you cannot afford to deal with the right way, toss some Prism Dust. What's Prism Dust do?
I hope it's just pocket stand. I think that's what it looks
Yeah.
like here. So there's a one cost upgrade as well. It's got the preparation trait as well. It's got the tech trait as well. Okay, now that's pretty exciting. Max one per player, hero response, attack. After a minion enters play, discard Prism Dust, confuse that minion, and deal 2 damage to it. So there's a lot going on with this. We've got minion damage. It's kind of like Widow's Bite, but the confused version as well, I should
Yeah.
say. So it's kind of this is arguably, I mean, is confused stronger than stun? I mean, I could argue that. It's definitely up there. Oh, float like a butterfly. Oh, yeah.
Float, Cipher, um, anything that deals with attacking confused enemies, that's gonna be nice.
Yeah. And it's going to go really well with the vulnerable keyword in the new campaign
Yeah.
because that vulnerable minion hops into play. Nope, they're hopping out. They got dust in their eyes, and that's that.
The way that I read this, I have a rules question for you, Mr. Villain. If we do have float like a butterfly on the table, does this deal 3 damage because it confuses first, then deals the damage? I would believe so.
I'm 99% sure yes. Sometimes I'm 100% sure yes, and they actually say no. But I'm pretty confident in this situation that it would work that way.
Okay, that's pretty clean because that's pretty awesome because you don't really have. There's a lot of minions out there where 3 damage is going to kill them. So that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
But otherwise, there's a lot of like 5. 6+ is quite rare. There are a few, but like 5 to 3 is probably most common. Chambers, new ally that benefits from this is a lot as well. So huge, really good.
And then Champion Mel is saying that confusing is effectively stunning for Fury if you're in stealth form, which
Yeah, so it's multi-purpose.
yeah. This also has some really interesting implications for the Spider-Woman Justice ally, right? Because a lot of the times I don't like to spend my confuse an enemy on minions just because I don't think that there's a ton of value there. But if we have Prism Dust, which and maybe Nick just likes this more because he wants to be confusing pretty much everyone on the table, you can start to discount that Spider-Woman ally because she gets discounted by 1 for every single confused enemy you have in play. And so typically when minions are entering play, they are not immediately scheming. So Prism Dust can trigger. They will be confused going into the hero phase at that point. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and yeah, I've talked about it a lot already. It's one of my favorite cards. But if you're playing Spider Woman, you can run this and repurpose, so you can have another way to use the tech here. And if your name is Iron Man, this is a very cheap way to increase your hand size. So
yeah,
very versatile card. Very versatile.
Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, the low cost tech is always something that Iron Man is interested and excited to see.
Because you could presumably have 3 of these in a deck. One on the table, but 3 in the deck, so you can set up quicker with it. So
it is a physical resource, which is not something Iron Man loves. But I still like to ramp pretty quickly. I would take the fast ramp here.
Oh yeah.
I think I need a lore reason why this is tech, but here I am.
Yeah, that's a great reason. A great question.
Okay, so that's Prism Dust. Since both of these are preparation cards, Secret Agent will allow you to move an extra bit of threat to your suit whenever they resolve, ensuring that you always have a leg up on the main scheme. Also, you're going to need these cards back sooner rather than later, so you can always rely on a practiced plan.
Okay.
Before I even click on this card, I think that this is going to change Black Widow.
I think you could be right.
So practice plan. What? Oh my gosh, it is a bit. Read this to me, Villain. I can't do this.
Before we use our words, we're going to look at the pictures, and I'm pretty sure that's Black Widow and Winter Soldier, her signature ally, sparring. So yeah, 0 cost upgrade, already my favorite cost. Preparation, 0 cost preparation, really going to be good for Black Widow.
Yeah.
Max 1 per player, as we expect. Response: after you discard a preparation card you control, discard practice plan. Return that card to your hand from your discard pile. Oh, so for Black Widow and for Nick Fury, I don't think it's like a limit per once per turn. Their responses to preparations going off are going to go off for this, and then give you the other response back into your hand. So this seems very, very good. This seems really. Am I putting 2 or 3 of these in every Black Widow deck?
I'm starting with 3 and cutting 1 if needed because I mean practice plan. if nothing else, evaluate nothing else. In Alter Ego, practice plan is -1 deck size, and so you're drawing into your cards faster, right? Because you play a card, you get to draw a card, and because it's a zero cost upgrade, you are net even on number of cards in your hand. Then you can trigger it again, and this is going to trigger Widowmaker twice, right? Because you're going to, Widow's Bite, trigger Widowmaker, practice plan, trigger Widowmaker, get Widow's Bite back in your hand, and you can immediately play it again. This card is insane. This card is awesome. I love that it's a basic card as well because it allows us to play into any of the different aspects. I guess it works for Nick too, but I'm more excited for Widow here.
Okay, hear me out.
Yeah, let's go.
We saw the silhouettes, and Winter Soldier was talked about quite a bit. He's in the art here. Is he going to have preparations as well? Because he's the signature ally of the hero who has preparations. So, I mean, this just makes sense that this is going to keep giving throughout this expansion cycle, hopefully. Maybe more preparation cards in other aspects. This is my grand hope, and it seems pretty good. I think even for Nick, looking at what Secret Agent does, it's going to be hard to drop these.
Yeah, yeah. And going back to Black Widow's Winter Soldier deals with preparation cards as the ally, and a lot of the times we've seen kind of like parallels between the ally and the hero version. And so I could see, having or dealing with multiple prep cards on the table, just kind of leaning into that play style. And I do think that we will get a Winter Soldier pretty easily. Yeah, this is really cool. And it's just gonna recur Eyepatch camera, right? Like,
oh, of course.
Yeah, like
That's
you just
really good.
yeah, like I run 3 of these in my deck so that I have 4 copies of Eyepatch camera.
Basically, honestly, like this is crazy. And I just was thinking about the Winter Soldier ally for Black Widow. He gets cheaper for every preparation. This is a zero cost one, so you play it's just going to set that up really quick for like earlier on in the game, which is always good. You hate to see him and you've only got 1 preparation down, and like, oh, I'm probably not going to play him. When other times he's free, this is going to help so much.
Yeah. This card, Practice Plan, is so far my favorite card in this article. I think the implications and just kind of what we may see with your call of what Winter Soldier is going to come with. I think it just makes me very excited for the future of this wave.
It's so exciting. I'm going to call out my current favorite being the stealth suit because I love that. But this is up there. This is my favorite basic card we've seen so far. 100% though.
Where's the stealth suit? Why can I not? Where is that?
It's up to the top. It's called Stealth for Assault.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Okay.
form. It was hiding from you. It's stealthed.
I was thinking Secret Agent. I don't know why, but because he has this like green suit, my mind associated that with like the stealth suit for whatever reason. But
yeah,
nice.
Green is a very stealthy color in some situations.
Green, it is, yeah. Okay, Practice Plan. We got a lot of cards still left to go, which is pretty exciting. Of course, while Nick Fury is an incredible skilled spy, he's not the only agent in S.H.I.E.L.D. And even he can use a hand sometimes. When the going gets tough, he can call on the aid of his father, Nick Fury Sr. I'm pretty excited to see how if this has parallels to the basic Nick Fury that we got in the core set. Nick Fury Sr. is a floor cost 2/2/3. After Nick Fury Senior enters play, choose 1, remove 3 threat from his scheme, draw 2 cards, or give a shield character a tough status card at the end of the round. If he is still in play, discard him.
Whoa! So they really did parody the original Nick Fury.
Yeah.
I need to process.
Yeah. I do like that it's down to 2 cards. It makes the other options a little bit easier to choose because.
But he's still really good.
He's so incredibly good. Yeah. I think my least favorite part about the Nick Fury, the original Nick Fury ally, is that there are 2 options that very, very rarely get chosen, right? Very rarely removing the threat or dealing the damage because drawing 3 cards is just so good in this game. And so dropping that card draw down to 2 instead of 3, I think opens up, tough status cards and 3 threat. But still, you're looking at a effectively 2-cost ally in Nick if you choose the card draw. No, sorry, 3-cost ally. But 2 printed cost ally, 3 effective cost ally.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of an expert mode White Tiger with 1 extra cost is kind of what I'm looking at there. But I'm just thinking like remove 3 threat, then thwart for 2. That's 5 threat burst option for like aggression or something. Like, that's cool. I mean, Nick Fury can almost do that, but, Nick Fury's already one of the best cards in the game. Giving the shield character a tough is really interesting. This is the Professor X template, where he can do a bunch of different options, but the matching trait one gets an extra one, like Ready Up an X-Men. Let's just give a tough to his shield, which I think is going to be very good as well, which will be basically make him 2 blocks and 2 forwarding,
Hmm.
uh, which I think is pretty good as well, pretty flexible. I like the flexibility in this card is a huge point for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, really good.
Yeah. And because you are giving a shield character a tough status card, I think there are play lines out there where you choose an ally like Agent 13, just to keep them around longer. Um, and
Hmm.
so you're using that tough for an activation rather than a block. Probably only are most used in Nick, right? In
Hear
Nick's
me
kit
out.
because you're gonna scheme much more. Yeah, what's up?
Hear me out. You're playing Maria Hill. You've got the Cersei, which plays expensive allies for cheap. You play Dum Dum Dugan, and then next time you play this guy, you put the tough on Dum Dum Dugan because he takes 3 consequential when he
Yeah.
thwarts. Like, that's a combo. That makes use of them being expensive allies too. So that shield tough status card is going to be very very good, like you say on.
Yeah.
Mm,
And Chat's
so
pointing out
cool.
that Dum Dum is right there in behind his shoulder, so he is in the card
Oh,
art.
so it's Captain America.
That's amazing. Yeah, yeah, Dum Dum would be a good one. I like this card. I think that this is good. I think that one of the things that we had talked about previously is that having Nick Fury here on the table means that you're not going to be able to play the ally, which is a pretty big detriment to a lot of decks, right? Nick Fury is, as you said, one of the best cards in the entire game. So having a Nick Fury senior, while I do not believe that this card is as good as the original Nick Fury ally, is still a
Agreed.
pretty good card.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not as good. But it's still I still like this quite a lot, and I like that we have Nick Fury Senior here as well. I think that's fun.
Yeah. So, question for you: are you running this card outside of Shield and or outside of Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for aggression and solo play, like that 5 threat removal is going to be so nice to have in demand. Obviously it's forecast for that. It might not suit every character, uh, but I even think, I feel like Nick is so good. If you play Nick Fury and draw 2 cards, it's still useful, right? Especially
Yeah.
if you're looking for a vital upgrade. So you might have both Nick Fury, Junior and Senior, in your deck just to get through your deck a little bit quicker. I mean, it's not as good a value, but I still think it's worth it for certain characters, for sure. That's my initial impression.
Hmm. My kind of thought is that if we are already leaning into the 6, 7 staple basic cards, and we're trying to find that value for the power in all of us being 10 basic cards in the deck, this is a very easy include.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah, so power in all of us finally has a target. So
yeah. Geez.
it's about time. No, I like it. One of the things that is kind of interesting or intriguing to me as a solo player, Nick Fury Senior clears a side scheme on his forced response, or a lot of the player side schemes, right? And
Yep.
so if you have a call for backup out there, you can play Nick Fury, clear that, then you still get an activation, and you don't have to spend any more like time investing into that player's side scheme. So that's cool.
Mm, I like it a lot. And something I've been enjoying recently is the new stuff that came with Magneto, like squared off, and he's going to be a target for potentially to get into play, but
Yeah.
also for cards like Noble Sacrifice or You Got This, because he's going to disappear anyway. So if you don't need him to
Yeah.
block, it's got some interesting stuff there. And wow, this is really interesting, and this will trigger Sky Destroyer as well. So I think anyone running a shield deck could especially consider this, not just
Oh,
one of the new shield heroes. So
yeah.
very cool.
And Champion Mel in the comments called out a really cool thought is that Nick Fury by himself clears specialized training in solo.
That's
That's
ridiculous.
pretty good. That's pretty good. That's cool. Lyrical Star also said that. That's that's cool. Nick Fury Senior. Yeah.
If you're called Nick Fury, you're gonna be good.
He does also have the soldier trait here, so I guess team building exercise for anybody that's not also shield could work.
Mm.
He
I
does
don't.
have the shield, so government liaison is an option for him as well. So there's a ways to get this 4 cost down into a little bit more palatable range.
I was trying to think who we've seen that might want, team building exercise with the soldier trait. I guess Nick Fury makes a lot of sense though, because maybe we'll get some like non-shield spies as well that he can
Well, I
bring in
think
that kind of thing.
uh, Captain America for me, right?
Yeah, I guess you're going for an Avengers build.
Or
Yeah, why
if you're just
not?
going for an ally build, um, because he gets the
Yeah.
discount on his hero side, and then you can also
Mm.
discount Nick on his. But like I run TBE with Captain America for Avengers stuff. If I'm not doing like a tribal, I
Mm.
can also run into that. Cable as soldier. I'm not really
Yeah.
using TBE and Cable though.
Maybe now you are. No, you're not. You're definitely
Maybe.
not. Probably don't recommend it so far. But that's very
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, really, really cool.
nice. So that's Nick Fury Senior. If he's struggling to get his gadgets into play, oh my gosh, this is going to be a very exciting card. I think for anyone who likes these. Leo Fitz can hunt for his tech cards. For Iron Man loves this man.
I love this
Leo,
guy for my repurpose.
this is a support. This is not a ally. Whoa, I was just not expecting that. So Leo
Okay.
Fitz, reduce the cost to play Leo Fitz by 2 if your identity has the shield trait. So he goes from a 3 to a 1. I love this design space, by the way. Same with like Web of Life and Destiny, where you still can run these. It's going to be more advantageous to do it for the set that it was designed in. So 3 cost, 1 cost if you're shield. Exhaust Leo as an alter ego. Search your deck for a tech card and add it to your hand. Amazing.
This is crazy because some heroes have like their best upgrade is a tech card. Let's just say I'm Iron Man. I can just grab my helmet if it's hiding, or my arc reactor. Arc reactor is like his best in my opinion. Like, if you've got shield, it's going to be even better. I mean, what characters have tech stuff that have shield? I mean, Black Widow's gauntlets, I think, are tech. Just off the top of my head, that's really, really, really good.
But
Um,
my mind goes to repurpose, right? Like, I mean, because you're discarding
yeah,
these
yeah.
cards, it is search your deck. It is not search your deck and discard piles. So there is a little bit of, okay, you have to have it in your deck. There's ways to manipulate it and make sure that it is. But yeah, I mean, like you just repurpose the tech card away, get it right back as Leo as you flip down. That's awesome. What's up?
I'm thinking. I've been wanting to make Magneto work with repurpose, but I think he's kind of unreliable because he discards with magnetic pull.
Yep.
Oh, there go my tech stuff, etc., etc. Well, I can just flip down, use the survivor to shuffle the tech back in. Then Leo's gonna grab it for me, put it into play. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, you just repurpose the tech card, flip down, get your best card to repurpose back. Well, I guess it's from your deck, but you get an extra replacement. I think this is really good. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see if it's worth the cost outside of maybe
Mm,
tech heroes and shield. But it looks fun. I love the design space. Very cool.
yeah. Someone in chat, uh, meditation Iron Man. So like that's the other spot that I could see where if you are not running in shield, if you're running a meditation build, Leo could be pretty interesting here because meditation pays for Leo and then you can just start ramping like
Yeah.
that. So really cool stuff. He's also a shield trait, so if you do have TBE or government liaison as a shield character, you just put him in. Put him in for free and Leo's off to the races. I love it.
It's really good. And I mean the tech cuts we've now seen, and this is probably where the combo is meant in the pre-card. Prism Dust is tech, so you can keep getting that back for flow even more. Nick can keep getting he can get his eye patch sooner, like even quicker kind of thing. Like you just dig out what you want and off you go. So Leo's doing work. Leo is your friend if you're Nick Fury.
Leo is cool. Can offer tech cards, but Jemma Simmons help can pay for them. So Gemma is another 3 cost support. And the same as Leo, you reduce the cost by 2 if your identity has the shield trait. And you can exhaust Jenna to generate a mental resource for a tech card. Interesting. I think I'm a little bit less excited about this one.
Yeah, I think. Although I will say it's not Ultra Ego limited like the other one, which is
True.
quite interesting. I think if I'm a shield and I'm playing a lot of tech, I like this card. I still wonder if anyone repurpose plays this. Like, it's really interesting, especially anyone with shield. Um, I'm gonna have to think about this one. I feel like I have to think about this more than the other one. It's not just finding a card on demand, but that's always going to be useful, a resource for tech if you're already into tech. I think my impression on this one is I only play this if I've got the shield trait and I'm going full into tech.
Yeah. Chad is saying that Iron Man boots, you can use this to pay for Iron Man boots.
Oh, that is super good in that case for him.
Yeah,
Maybe though
may,
he's got other means.
yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's
Mm,
a yeah. I don't think I'm playing this outside of Shield because most of the tribes have a 3 cost resource generator that's better. Quinn Carrier, X Jet, those kind of things. And I don't necessarily know if there's a Guardian that needs it.
Rocket
Um,
might benefit because he can use salvage to put things from
that's
his
true.
discard pile onto his deck, and then he can use Fitz to grab that, I suppose. And
Yeah.
so
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
Rocket, but you like the really tech focused characters.
Yeah. But for shield, I like it, right? It's a 1 cost resource generator. It's also a shield card, so it's going to trigger Sky Destroyer. You can exhaust it for government liaison or homeland
Yeah.
intervention. And so there's like other phantom benefits if you are leaning into the shield trait that
Mm.
Jemma can. I'm gonna keep calling her Jenna but it's Jemma that Jemma can provide. That is not just this resource generator. That a 1 cost shield upgrade on the table is really beneficial to the shield like ecosystem. So that's also nice.
It's a card I'm happy to have.
Yes, yeah, it's not an OP card, but it's definitely one that's really interesting. So that
Yeah.
is that 16 of 17, the last card, and of course Nick Fury can team up with Maria Hill as super spies to always be ready for action. Villain, what does super spies do?
Well, judging by the art, they're there to fight in, so it's a zero cost event. Team up as we expected here, and I believe because of their names are the same hero and alter ego, it doesn't matter if one of them is in the wrong form, as long as the one playing it is in hero form, because it is a hero action. Place a total of I love this already. This is okay. Place a total of 3 all-purpose counters and all threat tokens on shield supports and slash or suit form upgrades. So if you're playing
Amazing.
Maria in solo, uh, yeah, you're gonna get the counters. But if you're playing Nick Fury in solo, you're gonna get the threat almost certainly. But actually, I don't know because yeah, oh wow. So you could be Nick Fury with I don't know command team, med team, and you can charge up those with this still. So super flexible, zero cost. This seems really good. What do you think, Nelson?
This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. If you're playing true solo, I still probably run this deck in Maria, potentially in Nick as well, because I think that I'm going to have probably just in Maria, because Maria in ally form is leadership, where Nick is basic. But if you can line this up so that you can get Nick on the table and Maria, you can go 3 all-purpose counters on those 6 cost helicarriers.
Yep.
That's amazing.
For
That's
zero cost.
amazing.
The downside is Nick Fury in solo play for Murray Hill. He's going to disappear at the end of the turn. You can't just leave him on the board. But recur him, or when it turns out to work, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the Nick or the Maria Hill article real quick, just because I want to look at some of these big upgrades. But
It's crazy
yeah,
value. It's ridiculous because it's not limited like one on a different support. You could just put 3 on the Iliad, keep readying it up or something, with like Agent 13 or the new leadership shield ally that she comes with. Uh, look at
it's 0
Cersei.
cost for 15 damage on the Iliad.
Yeah, seems fine.
Yeah,
I just-
yeah. This is one of the cards that I am figuring out how to trigger in my deck because of the value that it gives. It's also wild, so even if you can't, it's a wild, which is pretty nice.
Hear me out. So I can put
Yeah.
all purpose, all threat on shield supports or the suit form. Could we get a shield support that you add threat to? Am I reading that right? That I'd be allowed to add threat tokens to a shield support?
Uh I would read that unless they rule that like 3 purpose all counters slash or threat tokens, and then you have shield support slash soup form. If it's kind of like tied to like the AB, I don't
Maybe.
know, but the way that I would read it and the way that I read a lot of the champion cards, yes, you could, um,
My hmm.
which
my
could be
thinking
kind of
was
funny.
maybe the Justice 6 cost heli carrier, which we haven't seen yet. Maybe uses threat tokens for something. I don't know. That
That's
was just a
cool.
random thought, but
That's
maybe it
cool.
isn't. Maybe I'm just going crazy.
That's really cool. Um, yeah, I mean, like the Cersei, like that's 3 more allies for free.
Ridiculous.
It's dumb. It's yes, like Maria Hill runs this card and potentially just like holds on to it until you draw Nick. Or you play Nick
Yeah.
and you try and draw into super spies. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to like reliably get this into your hand. Potentially, oh, make the call. I mean, make the call is great with this.
Yeah.
Oh
I
gosh,
mean,
jeez, yeah, that's
could
insane.
you could you do something with like MedLab? No, you probably wouldn't MedLab Nick or something. I'm just. Well, I'll have to think about it. But this is so strong. I like this a lot, and I think we're looking at like the big side of things here, like the Iliad and the Cersei. I'm pretty sure if you just use this zero cost card to get 3 threat tokens on your suit form, that's 3 damage basically that you can maybe multiply with one of the area attacks. So still really good at the worst end for Nick Fury.
Yeah, yeah, don't yeah. Cause yeah, because depending on how many minions you have out there, that could be 15
A
damage,
lot.
just like the Iliad. It's just immediate. That's insane. That is really, really cool. I mean, you could just like go forever with the Percules as well, right? Like you're giving your hero or villain a status card of your choice. Just confuse lock Percules for the next two
Mm,
5 rounds, and like, okay, cool. I play alter ego now. Because this is not
yeah.
a super
This
spice
is
is a
hero
hero
action.
action. It is a
Yeah.
hero action. That makes sense.
That's still interesting though. Like, what's interesting about having, like, let's say the Pericles and the Cersei out, you can put one count on each of them, get that value straight away, as opposed to stacking up on one and having to get like ready to throw it or wait for it to ready up. So there are some
That's
team up
awesome.
cards. There are some team up cards in 2 player where I'm like, actually probably not even going to run it, even though I've got the heroes on there. So much I do. This one does not leave those decks in 2 player with these characters, or like
Oh
4 player with these
no.
characters. This is just there.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is I I cannot believe that this is zero cost.
Of all the, sometimes the team ups are quite expensive. Like the Iron Man War Machine one I was talking to Boom Guy actually about not that long ago. This one is just zero cost. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, like, yes, it's I really want Maria to play this card with Nick and then use Cersei to play Nick just 3 more times using the using the counters that you got from this. The other thing is like if I remember correctly, Cersei is remove a deploy counter, choose a player to play. So you can throw this on the Cersei and then have the Nick Fury player play an ally from their hand as well. So it's just like the 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 shield ecosystem is just getting so interesting. I think the sequencing, I think all of the cards that we've seen from shield have been way more exciting than I was expecting, right? Like people were talking about how they were a little disappointed on shield after these reveal articles. I don't understand, like I could understand from a thematic standpoint, but from a mechanic standpoint, this is probably the most interesting 2 preview articles for a hero in a box I have seen.
I am inclined to agree with you. I was just thinking, like, is this better than Magic Bishop? Is this better than, like, I don't know, Cable Domino? Uh, Maybe it's early hype. I'm thinking, like, yes, in terms of like so interesting. We'll see how it plays out, because I
Yeah.
realize with like every article reveal, I'm super hyped when it first happens. So everything I say, pinch of salt. But like to me, this looks like incredible. The villains we've just seen, a couple months ago, whatever, look really incredible. So I think if you looked at Shield and were like, I'm not interested in Shield, and you didn't tune into any of this, you're not going to get it. You missed out horribly, because I'm super super hyped and I want these characters a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pumped. I think I think Domino Cable are the only ones that I could argue myself into liking more than Nick and Maria. Now, we haven't played them. So, there have
Yeah,
been heroes where I was very hype and did not enjoy the play and other ways around, but I'm hoping if these live up to the hype, they're going to be really fun heroes. So, nice. Any last second thoughts on Nicholas Fury?
the only thing I'm upset about is that Nick Fury doesn't have the surfer trait. That is the one thing holding him back for me. There's no surfer trait synergy built in here. They let me
Yeah.
down. Uh, just like so good, guys. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have the Surfer, King, and Wakanda trade. I think any
And
other
Space Knight.
unused trades. That's amazing. Box releases in February. Um, for chat releases in February, so more content than 4 heroes in one big box next year. That is what they have said is their plan. Is that we will be getting more content next year than what we got this year. So that's pretty exciting.
Huge.
Um, the theme alone was enough for me. Shield has always been one of the most interesting aspects of the Marvel universe. Nice. I love it.
So good.
I yeah, it's so good. I'm really excited for Nick. I think I'm a little bit more excited for Maria still, but I love what Nick has and what he's bringing to the table. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you're watching the replay of this video, let us know what you think down in the comments. I should have asked before we started, are you planning on doing a deep dive article on or deep dive video on in this article?
Well, I wasn't planning anything because it's Tuesday, but you
That's
can bet
fair.
I'm going to do it over the next day or two. I'm super excited for that. And if you're looking in the comments right now, I'd like you to tell us if you're on Team Maria or Team Nick, because I'm a little bit on
Ooh.
Team Nick.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I like it. Let us know if you're Team Maria, Team Nick. Once Villain Theory does get that video out, we'll link that down below in the VOD of this live stream. And yeah, I'm pumped. February is going to be a great month for Marvel Champions. I'm excited to see. We got some Team Maria, some Team Nicks in the chat. Oof. Nice.
Going to be
Excellent.
exciting.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so very much for hanging out. I appreciate you all. 2 streams in a day. I was not expecting this. It is a Tuesday, but all of the salutations I had on the last stream, if you are traveling, if you whatever your week looks like, I hope it's a fantastic one. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Peace.
Bye.